found you. Everybody, we were back live with Kevin Gootee.
Slambo, can you hit the air?
Yo,
Slambo.
yeah.
You're losing it, bro. He's our intern, Kevin. We call him the Lamborghini. He's running for president. He's got a lot of shit going on. But
You already got my vote versus those two other jerk-offs running, so you're in.
Nice. But, yeah, we were talking right before about how we found you, and I think it was just, like, one of us followed each other, and I was like, you're comedian. We talked to a lot of comedians.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of comedians like Kevin Israel and Dave Hodge.
Right.
And it's funny too because you have the show like we were talking about too, Waching Comics, and we've talked to a lot of guys even before I had you on, and I was doing the research, you know, the show prep, and we've talked to like John Moses and
Right.
Cyrus McQueen.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
really funny, dude.
Fuck yeah, man.
And I know in one of your episodes he was competing.
Last comic standing.
What was his name?
Oh.
Dave's friend. He was in here live.
Anthony Annis?
Anthony Annis. He
You
was
love
like,
Annis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
funny.
been in here live. Yeah, we've talked to a lot of dudes. I don't know. Does Dave Hodge been on there too?
Dave Hodge will be on episode 3 of Waching Comics.
Nice,
wow,
dude.
Sweet.
You got the voice, bro. You got the game show host
Yeah.
voice.
Wouldn't
like-
you fucking, you're hilarious. I'm going to tell you why. I've always, that's like the end game, because people are like, oh, we would be like a comic for the rest of your life. Like, no, like game show host since I was a fucking kid was my thing, and I actually do voiceover work too. So it's just
I
like,
know.
yeah.
We were listening to that
Oh,
too. We were going to ask if you could do a
God.
little like commercial for us or something because it's so good. Your
Oh
voice.
shit, thanks. That's funny.
What was the one you heard that you say you hear all the time?
Oh, it was the one.
Was it cell phone or?
I think so. It was like one of the cell
I
phone.
don't know. It was the
Forget which
first
one it
one on
was.
the reel, I think.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it was the
voiceover
first
reel.
one on the
It's like-
voiceover reel.
Yeah, and Pete's like, I heard that commercial today or something.
Not today, but I've heard it like plenty of times. Like,
But yeah,
Nice.
dude, you have a lot going on.
Oh,
like,
thanks.
is it a lot to juggle?
Yeah, man, it is. I'm one of these few comics who are not fucking, a dog walker or someone, sucking on mommy and daddy's teeth and getting money, living in a fucking 6-person fucking place in Bushwick. No, I actually have a day job, so I'm one of the few, and I work in corporate America, so that's where a lot of my angst comes from. Fuck that, bro.
Don't they have cool like phrases for shit? Like,
Oh, dude, I'm working on. I have got a bit, but I can't get it where the buzzword shit.
Yeah.
I can't. But I can't. It's not to a point where it's funny
infuriating.
yet. Yeah, it is. Fucking 60,000-foot view and deep dive, and if you're thinking outside the box, that means you're in the box. Like bullshit like that. Like no, fucking kill yourself. This is what.
I like the 110%. Like that's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Like asshole. Like
I
they
did.
always say that.
I had a job interview. The guy goes, "Listen, at this company, everyone gives 150%." And I'm like,
Oh,
well, I'm
my-
not going to work here because I can only give 100. And he's like, really? I'm like, you can't give more than 100. You can't give more than 100. And you can't give more than 100. He's like, semantics. I said, no, this is semantics. This is actuality we're talking here. This
Dude, yes,
these are statistics.
exactly. It's
oh man.
impossible.
So I'm assuming you didn't get that job.
Oh,
No, they got, I knew I was going to fucking not, I didn't want it after I
didn't want that one.
Yeah. So it's like when you do stand-up kind of too. It's like, it's kind of fun to fucking tank a set a little bit and then see if you
Yeah.
can dig yourself out. I want to see if I can just tank the interview but not give a
I
fuck
was gonna
about
say,
trying to.
I thought like maybe like you were walking out and they just grabbed you. We need you. We want you.
Like Jedi mind trick them or some shit. That'd be fucking. That's a good idea. Guys, go on interviews and just not give a fuck and see what the percentage of people that really want you.
Like, I've never done it. I always wanted to back in the day, and my whole plan was to do stand up one day, just bomb. But I guess like if you're starting, you're gonna bomb anyway, which
Of
is,
course.
comedians have told us that. But I just wanted to go up and just tell the worst jokes and just make people like horribly like hate me.
What's the
Which
worst
is
joke?
kinda
What's the
like-
worst joke you have in your armamentarium now that you think that would send shivers up people's buttholes?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good one. I don't really.
I just
Like
completely
corny, yes. I'll have to ponder that one.
I just took
Holy
the show
shit.
away from you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't
It's not
really
even my,
like
it's
tell
not even
jokes.
my
I
show. I'm
usually
sorry.
I usually just talk like an asshole about things. Like, look at this jerk off and look at this scumbag. But that's really all I have. So maybe,
That's what you should go
maybe I
out
should go up there.
on stage.
Look at this scumbag. Huh? What's he doing, everybody?
You'll endear yourself with the crowd very much.
Look at this jerk right here. Huh? What about this guy?
Nice sweater, homo. Oh, hi, Dad.
That one. Who did we
15
talk
minutes of
to?
that.
John Quayer. He's a comedian
Yeah.
out in where is he?
Texas?
No, jerk off.
Tennessee?
Yes, Tennessee. No, he's out in another state, but he said like when he's one of the openers and they don't want him to do any crowd work. The next guy up could do a little crowd work, and then the headliner could do a
That
lot
was
of crowd
in
work. He's in
Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Right? That was with the.
That is
ever
ass.
heard that shit,
that's
dude?
ass backwards because most of the time the fucking the MC does all the crowd work. The feature does maybe a little, and the headliner does and it does nothing with crowd. It all depends on the
Wow.
comic. Like Greg Fitzsimmons hates crowd work from the feature. I listen to his podcast. He talked about it all the time. But David Tell will just fuck around.
Yeah,
willy
David
nilly.
Tell's great.
He's my favorite. He's my number one. He's 1A. Rodney is 1B.
That's some good ones. I was gonna ask
Yeah, man.
who your favorites were. That's David Tell. He's genius. He's genius.
I used to like his show on.
Insomniac.
Yeah,
Fucking love
Insomniac.
it. Do you ever watch the Gong Show he did for a half a second? And
I
then
did not know he
Dave's
did.
old porn. He watches old. He has comics come in with him on Dave's old porn. He watches old like 70s, 80s porno, and they Mystery Science Theater 3000 the shit out.
That's amazing.
I need to watch this.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it's fucking. He's genius. He can't. I see him all the time in the city. Just hang on right there on Bleecker McDougal at the corner there. Because there's two clubs. The Cellar's right there, and he's always at the Cellar, so that's why. Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna
he's
say.
good.
I'm sure you've worked a lot. Like,
I have yet to work with David Tell.
wow.
I mean, that's
Is he still doing radio? I think he was doing like a radio show at one point.
I don't know. He was doing a radio show.
I think for a little while.
Right.
I don't know, but
Maybe he is.
there's no good radio anymore. Shit.
Stern, but
Is he still around? Doesn't he threaten to like retire every year just for ratings
just
now?
to
at
get a
this
higher
point?
contract.
I think now he's like adopting cats and shit. And
Yeah, the show has changed. Now it's like an all A-list crew for the interviews and all that. Like this days of the Sibian and Horace coming in and shaking their crystal meth-infected vaginas everywhere. Those days are gone, unfortunately.
and Opie and Anthony, they just, I don't know, they got divorced or something. I don't know what those
what's
guys
his tits got kicked off because of the
Jimmy?
Well, no, Anthony.
Or
couldn't-
Anthony- oh, yeah.
because
Right.
and then he went
Racism, and then,
Right.
yeah, he's doing his own shit now.
Yeah, he's his own
Got
network. A
network.
lot of comics go on the network like
Yeah.
that. So it's pretty cool what he's doing up there.
I used to love O&A, and yeah, it was weird. It's just weird ever since. And I haven't listened to either show. Like, I think I've seen a few clips of Anthony's. He's still having fun with it, at least.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Opie's just all whiny and shit
Opie
now.
like
Yeah,
gets
I
in a
couldn't.
fight with like Jimmy like every.
Yeah, he was at one point. Yeah, just he was really awkward.
He got me into Opie and Anthony, and I listened to them that year that Anthony got fired.
A
So
few
Right.
I
months.
was like 6 months, and then Anthony got fired. I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep listening to this. I listened to it for like 2 months. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh, you
I don't
listened
know what it
after
was,
to
but-
Opie and Jimmy.
Yeah, I listened to Opie and Jimmy because I was I had the Sirius XM subscription and everything, so I kept
Yeah.
listening, and it just after 4 or 5 shows, I was like, I just can't. Like they weren't going anywhere. They like Opie would just talk for hours about nonsense because he just didn't know.
Well, they
what
had
he
to
was
find their
doing.
chemistry. That's why. I
Yeah.
mean, that doesn't happen overnight. so
Yeah,
that's probably
sure.
why you were just like, oh, fuck this. I mean, maybe I don't listen to it, but maybe now it's great. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could have came back, but who knows? I gave up.
Do we even,
I
do we even
I
call
stopped
them
listening
on?
before the end too. It was just like getting, I don't know, like just really dumb, like repetitious. It was just the same shit all the time. I don't know.
You know, I brushed my teeth after the 1,000-year-old eggs, and I just breathed into my microphone and smelt it, and felt like I was gonna puke. Like I could still smell the 1,000-year-old eggs.
It still smells like Philadelphia, is
Disgusting.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you want more? Is that what you're saying? Like,
dude, it felt like a lagoon or something. Like smelled like a lagoon.
Like the
Really
black
bad.
mud at the bottom of a lagoon, yeah.
oh, it was
Disgusting.
horrible.
Silt.
Horrible, dude.
The yolk was just black. I had this black streak of like it looked like mud just on my finger. It was
You need to
gross,
post
man.
pictures
Ah.
of your shit on the website when you're done.
I got a few. I'll put up later. It's really good. And then yes, take a few of your shit
Yes.
as well. Yes, that. I think that's just a shitty looking like egg. Like, it just looked like shit, dude. It was black
It was
and
bad.
just gelatin looking. Oh,
Yeah, the white was like brown jello.
horrible, horrible.
Sounds like an aborted Chinese fetus. to me.
Yes.
Just checking.
Exactly it. What? How long have you been doing
Points.
comedy? How long have you been doing comedy? Kevin?
Almost 6.5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time, dude.
But you know what? Do you do actually? So you haven't done comedy then, right?
No.
It's funny. So when someone like from the outside says, "Wow, 6.5, that's a long time." If you're like in comedy, you're like
That's
6.5
nothing?
ain't shit.
Yeah.
it ain't
Who
shit.
talked to John
John
Peasy?
Peasy's been doing it for how long? 30 years or more?
30, I think. Yeah.
20, 30
Very
years?
long
And
time.
yeah, he says like it's you either hit or you don't. Like you because I never heard of him, and I'm like I'm surprised I hadn't heard of you. You've been around so long, and he's like, yeah, if you don't get that that TV deal. You know, nobody's gonna know who you are.
Well, that's like who Kevin Israel was telling us about Victi Potato,
Right.
who I guess had been doing it for like 30
forever.
or 40 years or something like
And
that.
now he's
nobody
catching
knew.
fire.
Yeah, from like a YouTube video.
Is watching comics getting a lot of attention?
It is. It's right now not as much because what I did was I chopped the first episode. I did like a regular TV like 22-minute episode, a couple of them.
Okay.
So that way I could show it to networks and go, here's how it looks as a TV show. And the second, and then I did all the bonus footage, about 7 to 10 minute clips. The second episode, I chopped up 7 to 10 minute clips for everything. So that way, I started. I think they dropped the first thing early April, and I just finished my last one maybe 3 weeks, a month ago. So I've had constant content for 3 months coming out.
Cool.
So it's kind of done up a little bit, but I'm gonna get a teaser out there sooner or later. I'm just in the first round of edits now for the third episode. So, I mean, to answer your question, yeah, it has. It actually got me a manager, which is kind of cool. Getting some notoriety, people in the city, and that's perfect because when I'm in the city doing spots, be like, "Oh, Kevin, hey, Watching Comics, what's going on with that?" Or "I love the show. When's the next thing coming out?" Or they'll have something to say about the show, like "I love it," or "This part I don't like," or "I love Jimmy Failure as a panelist," or whatever. I'm building the brand up, which it sounds so fucking corny, but honestly, like this is the time. It's like I gotta
have to, man.
and that's how I'm trying to paint it. It's like, hey, when they see me, it's like, "Oh, Watching Comics guy."
How do you get the judges? Is it just friends of yours from gigs that you?
Yeah,
Would you come on,
guys and girls I know and really respect, and who've been around a while, and who really have who've succeeded and done some shit. So basically, it's not to be a jury of your peers who judge you. It's gonna be someone a level or 2 or 3 above you.
So, right. Same with the contestants. Do you find them? Are they like openers at open mics, or?
I make the rule, but I mean, you can't check. It's not a resume checker. So I say, hey, you have to have at least 3 years in the business. So some asshole can say, oh, I've been here for 3 years. Well, it's funny. Actually, one guy who's on this upcoming episode, who spoiler, is going to eat a big plate of dicks, said he did it. He's been doing it for 6. He's done it for 6 years.
Ooh.
And he went on, and he clearly had to have been within his first year or two. Like he was that. Like you, like what the fuck, man.
So what exactly is Watching Comics? Like, is it?
Sure,
that's exactly it.
Yeah. Some guy hit me up the other day. He was like, "What is it about?" I said, "Kind of in a title here, but spoiler." So basically, it's I taped 50 comics at New York Comedy Club twice already. So the episode 3 and 4, which are coming out, I did that. I don't know, May I taped them. So 50 comics, and if you ever sat through 50 fucking comics doing 5 minutes apiece, you probably want to kill yourself. Which I don't blame you. So I taped them, and then I take that that video, bring it to my house, and that's where I have the panelists come over and we watch the video, and we offer advice, we critique, we praise them, or if they eat shit, they know it too. So and then we vote on a winner at the end of each episode, and they're going to try. I'm trying to get a spot lined up at a top club like a Caroline's or
That's
Gotham.
what I was wondering. How you got the how you got the
That's the
prize
carrot.
going.
But now here's the twist, because every other guy's like, oh, that sounds like Last Comic Standing. Well, yeah, well, here's the twist. The home audience is going to play along. They're going to go on Twitter and vote for their favorite panelists that they want to see return to the following episode. So you tweet at Comics Watching Comics and go like hashtag who's on the next one, Mike Gaffney, or hashtag I love hashtag Mike Gaffney, or I love hashtag Richie Redding. Those are a couple of guys who are on it. And then the winning panelists get to come back the following week. So that's the difference between that and every other jerk off reality show.
I like too, and I don't know if the other shows do, but you do like where you interview one of the judges,
the panelists,
and you ask them like worst advice, best advice you ever got. You ask them some really cool questions.
Oh, thanks. I try. Let's just see how it comes out in the wash.
Yeah. You gonna say something?
No.
Why'd you look like it then?
Oh,
I was just very intrigued.
He's very thoughtful right now.
Right.
Very deep. You got a question, Slambo?
What?
He doesn't like it.
the only question he has is how long before I have to wait to see a picture of your shit from those eggs.
He'll be taking.
He read my mind.
You also have 2 podcasts, right?
I do.
How do you find the time, bro?
You ain't kidding. With a wife and a 1-year-old and a career, my God. That's the thing. You have to make it. You have to obviously it's gonna sound fucking gay, but you have to really love it, and I do.
Yeah,
it's not
gotta seem like fun.
Yeah, it's not a weekly. So I do one. It's called the Sportsbook Box Office Podcast. Again, I believe in full disclosure, so it's what we talk about is in the title, movies and sports. We taped at the Broadway Comedy Club twice a month. I actually called in yesterday, and because I couldn't obviously be in the studio, and we talked about Kaepernick. We talked about we do a game where I have this retarded ability to guess very, very closely the opening weekend of films, like how much they make. It is the dumbest, most useless fucking talent. And I did it yesterday, and I got like 5 out of 7 or 5 out of 7.
Wow,
It's
that's
so,
awesome.
but not like not on the money, but very, very close.
Yeah.
Within $1 million to $5 million differential. I don't know why.
I know they were all just horrible pieces of shit this summer, but
Summer?
what was the worst out of all the...
See, that's it. See,
Worst turd in the toilet.
The big...
I haven't seen that. I will not go and see anything that I think's gonna suck. Like I know other comics. There's another guy, Jay Alcov, and he does movie reviews. He sees everything, and I just A, don't have the time, or B, don't want to fucking see shit. So I've only seen. Let me do this. All right. So what did I see? This I saw Captain America 3, which was the best thing of all summer. It was fucking amazing.
Cool.
I saw X-Men Apocalypse, which was highly disappointing. I was not happy with it. And I loved all the other ones. Well, X-Men 3 fucking blows, but all the other Bryan Singer ones were amazing.
Yeah, they were doing good. Like
they
the
were
First
cool.
Class was cool. And
First
I
Class,
didn't see First
Class.
Children
Yeah.
of the Days of Future Past was fucking
I
awesome.
liked
Yeah,
it,
that
That was
really enjoyed
amazing.
that.
So that was Apocalypse was disappointing.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I did see Finding Dory. I like because I like the Pixar shit. That was good. What did I go see earlier that day that I saw that? Fuck, I saw something else. I'm like, meh. But I didn't. I wanted to go see Suicide Squad and then Jason Bourne, but the reviews were just like,
I've heard so
fuck
much-
this, fuck this.
I've
fuck.
heard so
I
much
didn't
split
go.
shit on Suicide
Yeah,
Squad.
Suicide
I heard
Squad-
it's like 80-20 shitty. So
Yeah.
no.
Oh, okay.
To answer your question, what's the shittiest thing I've seen? I guess by fucking I don't know. I guess X-Men Apocalypse was again, but I've only seen
Because it
5
was a
things.
disappointment,
Because
yeah.
these you read the synopses. I'm gonna use proper English, and it's just like fuck this. And there wasn't that many films that I was excited about seeing. I think last year the most excited one I was for Straight Outta Compton, and I fucking loved it. It was the best film of last
I
year.
still have to see that.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
so
it's
behind
amazing.
on movies and
Yeah.
shit. But yeah, I heard that was
Yeah.
really good.
So that's so Sportsbook Box Office Podcast. It's sports and films. And what I do is the Safe Word Podcast, where me and one of my other fellow female comics, now Teresa DiCatana, but Monica Vita and I used to do it for a few years. We just have other comics come in. We talked about dating and offer relationship advice and banging and swap stories and all that bullshit.
do people have questions? Like, do you take calls? Is it live or is it
No,
just-
no. It's not. We
A
tape it.
conversation?
We tape that the Safe Word Podcast once a month, and then just chop up into 3 different episodes, and then air it like once a week, so that way people have something constantly coming out. So no calls. I think we got like 2 tweets and like 1 email, but the email we got was fucking hilarious. This guy writes, and he took a screenshot. He goes like, "Wow," he's like, "I am so much higher than you in the Podomatic rankings, but your show is so much better than mine." I was like, "That is the best backhanded compliment I've ever fucking heard."
That's amazing.
I'm like, "All right, well at least you can admit we're better."
Right?
But work on that listenership.
So, Kevin, I'm curious. You do all these things before comedy. Did you have projects, or did comedy like kind of get you into like, all right, I got to do a podcast now, and then I gotta do this?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Comedy. Cool. Anyone who thinks they're gonna make it in comedy now is a fucking moron. Like, you can't go all in on comedy. You have to really be a jack of all trades.
That's
like,
what Kevin said. Kevin Israel.
Yeah, smart man too, and he's funny as fuck as
Yeah,
well. He's great.
Yeah.
And it's
really
just
cool.
you can't expect to make it in comedy because even the funniest guy in dumbass Salt Lake City, Utah, comes to New York and he's just gonna blend in. Like even the best guys in New York, they fly under the radar. You don't know, so you have to have, and that's the best piece of advice I ever got was be multifaceted.
Right.
Podcasting. You asked about voiceover before we started. I fell into that. I didn't even fucking know about like, oh, you have a good voice, you do voiceover. No, a few people told me that, and then one guy's like, and then the comics like, no, dude, you go this guy, he'll listen to you. He is super honest, and he'll say, no, I'm not going to take your money, or because you fucking suck, or you are, I got the goods. And he's like, yeah, you're good. So the point is that, and that's where the show comes in. Comics, Waching Comics. Like I know, I think I'm a good stand-up, a pretty good, solid stand-up. I mean, I don't know, a B minus B. Who knows? I'm not, whatever. I am not going to make it as a comedian. I can flat out admit that. But I think I'm a better host, like a TV show host. I've got that better, and I'm quick on my feet with the podcasting, so that way I've got my hand in different bags. And then that's another what guy told me. He's like, when you get that tap on your shoulder, the tap of, hey, are you ready? What do you got? So if you go to meet with an agent or a manager, like, well, okay, you do comedy. What else do you do? Nothing? Well, what the fuck? I mean, how are you going to make me money? You make 10% in a fucking $40 spot? No, thank you. But if you voiceover, if you do acting, which I trying to do, excuse me, or other shit, you're more attracted. You're more attractive to people trying to pick you up and shit. So
why don't you have a goatee?
Because I look silly with facial hair. I do like the four. I call it the Vegas look, where I go 4 or 5 days without, because I go to Vegas every year and I don't shave. Yeah, I had like the Bradley Cooper unshaven look mastered, but fucking facial hair. I
ask this guy sometimes, like, how do you do stuff like what was it? Robert Downey Jr. He's got cool shit. He's got like designs. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, nobody ever knows.
I feel like a straight razor, like every day, maybe twice a day.
I don't know. Like he's got like lines and shit. It looks so cool. And
if you think Robert Downey Jr. does his own beard, you're sorely mistaken.
That's it. He's got somebody else.
He made $80 million making Avengers 2.
Good point.
He's got someone in there who fucking shaves his taint hair off. Guarantee you.
Would you do that, Pete?
No.
What?
Come on,
you're not going anywhere in this world.
I don't know. Maybe. It'd have to be a lot of money.
Bullshit. For Ulysses S.S. Grant, you would cup Iron Man's fucking balls. You know it. I know it. We all know it.
You mentioned Avengers 2, and now I have to derail everything because I hated that movie.
I was not a fan. I liked it at first. I'm like, it's not bad. Then I watched it again. I'm like,
because the first one I thought was great.
Yeah, I loved it.
I hated how Ultron, the robot, was like a whiny little bitch.
Ultron was never, like, I don't know if you're in the comics, but like Ultron in the comics was never a Tony Stark copy. He wasn't that at all. He was more robotic. He was like, like Skynet.
Yeah, he was just like a cold, unfeeling, like...
Just like
monster.
He was like you.
Yeah, he was like...
All right.
You know what he looked like? He looked like that fucking villain from the Power Rangers. The later on one. Was it Zed or some shit? Was it?
I think so, yeah.
Yo, I pulled that right out of my asshole. Fucking, I'm gonna dig myself on that shit.
Everyone was saying that about Apocalypse.
Yeah, he was.
Ivan Ooze.
But it's funny because it's like when you saw it. I mean, I know a little bit about the comics. I watch the cartoons like a motherfucker.
That's like what I was.
That's what I know. I read some of the books. Not graphic novels of some of you comic book nerds. Calm the fuck down. But I remember Apocalypse, especially in the cartoon. He was like 8 feet tall. Because I looked it up. I'm like, yeah, he was 8 feet fucking tall. This guy who was Poe Dameron in Star Wars Force Unleashed, he's eye level with one of these Egyptian broads. I mean, he's about to fucking kill. I'm like, he's 8 feet tall, but they cast a guy who's like 5'6". Like, what is this bullshit? I'm in the theater like shaking my head like a dissatisfied black woman. Like, no.
They should have just did him CGI like they did Colossus and Deadpool.
Right.
I think he was just like CGI, which was great. That was like the best Colossus that they've done.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Deadpool was cool.
Deadpool was awesome.
Great film. Weakest villain ever. That was he Russian surgeon motherfucker?
Yeah.
That was some beat. And I'll tell you, I was disappointed with Colossus. I was. And what was it? The fucking chick? I'm like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, that was like out of nowhere. Yeah. She apparently was in like one panel of a comic and they just pulled her out.
Yeah, I read that.
Teenage Warhead or something.
Yeah, atomic, nuclear, whatever the fuck. Subatomic. Yeah, who gives a shit? But it was the best. It was the best Stan Lee cameo and the best end credits ever, but the worst villain, I thought.
Yeah.
But that fucking the Ferris Bueller show was goofing. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Love that film. That's what's up.
Oh man. Are we gonna take a quick break?
Yeah, we can do that. Do you want to watch?
I was saying when we come back, maybe we'll watch a clip of that.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Comics, watching comics, that'd be cool. And Kevin will tell you which one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to break.
We're going to take a picture of his shit. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
We got to get pictures with Kevin, too, because we always forget.
We always forget.
All right, cool.
All right, we'll be back.